Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Rayquaza accepted the competition as Deku quickly sets up a little wooden, chess game. As Rayquaza, he scoffs, saying, "You thought I could possibly play like that? No, we must play on much more of a grander scale. This will cost me quite a lot, so I guess it counts anyways." I did want to challenge myself, as he rises himself up into the sky. As then he uses Dragon Rush, as all of his little, fanglers on the side of his torso, drag along the mountains, softening them as he runs constantly across them, almost 82 times, creating a soft surface. And then he starts to he eats one of the mountains, crunching it up into a chess piece, perfectly molding it with his tongue. As then he sets it down, creating a huge explosion off in the distance. Just setting one of those down causes a huge avalanche in the distance, or in one of the mountains. It's such force that it's more than Bakugo could in the end of Season 3. That's how explosive the power of these mountains are. As Rayquaza looks to him, sort of proud of himself, Rayquaza's serpentine body, guides up along the mountain as Deku and Toga sort of climb along, going all the way to the opposite side where the chessboard had met the white pieces, all perfectly molded to how they were in the realistic world. However, Deku says, "No, that's not how you make a queen." Rayquaza's like, I gave it some, some creative inspiration. He's like, alright. As basically all the pieces were crafted to look like dragons. And they actually fit with the mountains that they were in. Rayquaza sets down the humans on their own mountain on the other side, just able enough to partly see the other side of the chessboard. Maybe not fully all the things. As he actually calls Arya to his side again and has her scout out the rest of the battlefield. Rayquaza's sound of his voice booms across the mountains, almost erupting Deku's ears. Toga's like, I think we're way out of our league here. How long have you played? By the way, Rayquaza. As Rayquaza says, this will be my first. As Deku says, this will be my first too then. May the winner defeat the other. As Rayquaza says, you are surely an odd one. As he looks down to the mission that was given to him. Defeat Rayquaza. Reward mystery. As he says, let's hope it's worth it. As then Deku says, pawn to d4 or some shit. They start out their chess game. However, Rayquaza has a lie detection sort of thing, because he's the seer of truth. He's sort of the he looks upon the earth as, its guardian in the skies. Of course, you can't lie to a dragon. And as the game continues, Rayquaza is taken aback how this human is able to defeat him at every single corner. No matter what he does, Deku continues to plow forward, almost like he's mindlessly destroying all of his pieces. It takes a master to defeat, just completely defeat an enemy. It takes a true master to make it look like a mistake. As Deku mistakenly loses some of his pawns. However, he takes them quickly back, as every single corner is covered by Deku's perfect strategy. One that makes him look like he's doing worse than he actually is. Defeating Rayquaza, and Rayquaza's astonished, almost mad. How could this human... He swears he wasn't lying, and his strategy, it seemed almost freestyling. He wasn't trying anything, he was just mistakenly destroying him. How could this possibly be? To humiliate a being such as me? As Deku's like, I think I have defeated you. As, he sees that the quest hasn't completed. He says, maybe he needs to admit defeat. As, he climbs up onto Arya and, Toga's like, no, I'm not going to go near that guy. He looks like he's super mad. As Deku's like, suit yourself. As then he goes off and hovers right next to Rayquaza's eyes, as he's barely even bigger than his pupil. As he looks straight into Rayquaza's eyes and says, admit your defeat. It was a good game, trust me. As Rayquaza's like, no, I will never. As Rayquaza, shoots his head up as Deku uses Flame Kick that he had learned from Tempig to kick himself all the way up onto Rayquaza's head. However, Rayquaza starts shooting straight up into the sky, and then he uses his cat whiskers with Meowth popping out of his backpack saying, I think you're way over your head this time. Meowth, you are here? Why didn't you say anything earlier? I was wondering why my powers were working so well. As, claws start to exude from Deku's hands, allowing him to grip onto Rayquaza's head. He's like, you just have to convince him. You don't have to defeat him, actually. As Deku's like, admit it, you were defeated, Rayquaza. He's like, a being such as me would never be defeated. I'll be humiliated. As, he continues to, basically almost destroy half the world as he arcs his head from the top of the sky. As he's flowing right back down to the earth, he's like, if I kill you, maybe they just won't outcast me. I'll be outcasted, don't you understand? As he's willing to destroy half the world just to kill Deku at this point. As Deku's like, I'll tell no one. He's like, you're lying. Defeating a god is all that you humans want. You think I've been defending my title by admitting defeat wherever it comes? No. As Deku's like, you have my promise. As Deku had used, Meowth's, lying skill to make it seem like, that makes it seem like he's not lying. Before, he uses it again, as the dragon senses his, overwhelming smile and trust, and says, as he stops himself before he hits the ground. As he rises himself, in an S shape, he plants Deku back on the ground. As Rayquaza says, fine, but you dare tell anyone. I know. I got sent by Arceus anyways. I wouldn't do such a thing. By Arceus? You actually made it then. Congratulations, little one. Well, you changed your mood quite fast. Well, Arceus is a different conversation. If you say so. As Deku, starts to make his way down the mountain. However, he finds some penguin-looking things, some icicle penguins. Those ones that have ice on their head, blockheads. Those things. He's like, actually, you know what? I have an idea. As Toga is shivering her ass off at this point and is complaining, Deku's like, okay, I have a solution. She's like, what could it possibly be? Well, I can use the Chandelure, but she's not here right now. As Deku's like, no. You see those penguins over there? Let's get them. As, both of them hop on the top of one of the ice penguins, using their heads to, Toga instantly jumps on one of their heads and starts sliding down the hill. However, he's like, no. That's the completely wrong thing to do. As, he uses his fire, an inferno throw to melt the ice of the blockhead. As she's like, "Why did you do that for?" He's like, "Okay, that's like torture to these guys. They don't have that strong, and they have really strong necks. However, that still hurts." Okay. As he plops one of their ice blocks off of their heads and then puts it down, he's like, "See, like this." And she's like, "I am mistaken." And he's like, "Well, what do you say?" And she's like, "Don't make me do this, Deku. I trusted you all the way to here only because you helped me get away. But until then, until we get back to the city, fuck it. Fine. Just, I'm sorry, little penguin." As it says, "Imu?" I'm sorry, Imu. "You want to be friends?" As Deku's like, "Oh, my little girl, she's making friends already." As Imu's like, "Imu," and she's like, "Well, I didn't want to be your friend either. You can't give up like that. Please." As Imu's like, "Imu," as it, sparkles all around its face as it smiles sweetly at Toga. She never really had much like this in her life, so it's really sweet to her. She thought that she'd let go of a lot of those feelings, when she had been dedicated to, the villain life. However, now she was shown a better way, a sweeter way. Not just that. As Deku and her start to make their way down the mountain, sliding on the ice blocks, have quite a lot of fun. And as they start to get to the end, the Imu is sliding even faster than both of them as they're astonished by its speed. It slides out into the city as it slides so fast that, it glides across the city just on its stomach, and then makes its way to the plaza. As the ice that it was making on its stomach while it was surfing on the ice collects onto its stomach and makes ice block on its stomach. It's quite the interesting quirk you have there, little penguin. As one of the ladies comes forward. It was a lady that they recognized as Midnight. As she puts her hand down and offers to patch up the wound that was strict on its belly from surfing on concrete, as it had ran out of ice. Once both Toga and Deku walk into this town square, Midnight looks to both of them, saying, Is this little guy yours?" As she says, Toga comes forward as she's like, "Oh God, it's a hero." As Deku, pats her on the back and says, "Why aren't you going?" As Toga's like, "How do I explain to him? Should I explain to him?" No, you go for her, Deku. As she hides in the shadows using Haunter's, hideaway sort of, like stealth thing, I think it was. As he had taught her how to use the quirks use the Pokemon's abilities. He's like, "Oh, come on. It's your Imu." As he walks forward, Midnight greets him happily as she looks down to him, as he looks back up to her, saying, "Wait a minute, I remember you." As he picks out his notebook from his backpack that he had bring along from all those years ago, the heroes. "Miss Midnight," as she says, "Oh, you recognize me, do you? Too bad I've been retired for a few years." As, he's like, "Oh, that's a shame. 4 years if I'm correct. Wow, right as I left." "For where?" "Oh, for nowhere, Miss Midnight." "You're quite proper for a boy your age. And also intelligent. What's your name?" Deku. Izuku, Miss Midnight." "Why would you say Deku? Wouldn't that be downgrading yourself? You must have better stature and self-confidence, Deku. Young Izuku. Sorry, you had it reflect through my mind. It's alright. Most people just call me that by this point. It's easier anyways." No, trust me. Deku will only hurt you in the long run. I demand that everybody call you Izuku from now on. Izuku, Izuku, Izuku. Alright, don't overuse it, that's my name. Right, sorry for that. Miss Midori, frickin' Midnight. I've always wanted to be a hero. Do you think it's possible for a quirkless guy like me to be a hero? Well, with how you command the Pokemon like that, and, well, the skills that you've shown till now, from surfing down that gigantic mountain over there, you should be cautious anyways around those mountains. I heard that there was a dragon type roaming through there and causing a great disturbance, destroying mountains as it goes. Oh, your question. That's right. Sorry. No harm taken. And she says, well, yes, Deku. Yes, I think so. You'd be one of the greatest, actually, being able to control the Pokemon. You mean that? Of course, why wouldn't I? As he says, thank you. And she's like, of course. She thinks he's overreacting, but realistically, she doesn't know that how powerful of a moment this is for him. As he's like, you can expect me at UA in a few months. And she says, what do you mean a few months? It's a few days until the acceptance place thing. And he's like, oh fuck. As then he runs back into the hobble hole, he's like, oh fuck. And Toga's like, what? As he's like, it starts in a few days. The hero acceptance thing. She's like, oh, that thing? As he's like, what? You don't want to go? But you have such an amazing quirk. Haven't you learned by now, Deku? My quirk's meant for killing. I'm meant for stealing and killing and stuff I don't want to do. What are you talking about? Didn't you see all the good that you did back there? It trusted you, so you could steal the egg, Deku. Well, I got one much better from outsmarting Rayquaza, as he accepts the quest. As the egg appears in his hand, a green and golden aura come from it. As its basic look of it is completely normal, like a chicken egg but oversized, ones that you see in something like Pokemon Go. Deku's like, I don't know what it may be, but maybe Rayquaza? As she says, no, something much more powerful. What are you talking about? More powerful than Rayquaza? I don't know what it is, but I feel it. It's something special, Deku. I would have asked you to leave it with me by this point because, well, my feeling goes in where I want to steal it. However, I know that it's yours. I know that you love it. I can see in your eyes. Don't try to pretend to me, Deku. Oh, sorry. I'm just so curious of what it could be. I am too. However, you need to be cautious. There are people here that steal Pokemon from the wildlife. They use them to create quirks on their own. I've seen some of it myself in the underground. Oh, that's right. I got an idea. What? How about you join me in classes? Are you kidding me? They would slaughter me on the while as I stand. He says, well, I don't know. Maybe you could disguise yourself as another girl. Oh shit, that's an actually good idea. You actually said something intelligent for once. Oh, come on, I outsmarted a deity. Ah, that is true. I gotta give you points for that. That was awesome to watch. Man, I still can't believe that all happened. I know, I'm still having a hard time believing it myself. However, she says, and you outsmarted him. Dang. Who knew that the cat was so reliable? As he says, hey, I was always reliable from the beginning, Toga. As, he comes out of the bag and he says, why do you always stay silent? Listen, every cat needs his nap, alright? Everybody needs naps now and then. Even legendary felines like me. I get it. I guided the mysterious human across the lands. I became sort of a legend among the Pokemon. But now I'm nothing but dust. Why didn't you tell me this before? I could have vouched for you in front of Rayquaza. Oh, God, I should have told you earlier. God dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Man, if I got good with a deity, then, everybody would know my name. Dang it. As he says, well, there's more to regret in the later years. As, Meowth's like, well, you're right. Now, what's the plan, Deku? Are we going with her, with or without her? As he says, I think that's more for her to decide. As Toga looks up to him and says, I guess it couldn't hurt to try. As he says, nice. As she says, well, there is one thing that we need before we continue on. As she says, oh, what is it? You should meet my parents. Your parents? Yeah. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys had a great time watching this. I'll be seeing you guys sometime, somewhere. Goodbye, my lovelies.